Hey guys, Crazy Billy, and welcome to my 30 subscriber special, or what was originally going to be the only 30 subscriber special, but I said if I beat it before the beginning of 2025, then I would do another video, which will be coming out sooner. That'll probably take a bit more work, since it's like a lot of like editing and stuff. But I'm doing the first one today, which is a DSMP lore tier list. So we're not going to be ranking the people on the real life people. Who they are in real life may affect my opinions on them there because they're just biased, but I'll try and stop that. Also, this headset is very new and I'm very new to it, so I'm not quite adjusted yet. So if I'm too loud sometimes, I'm sorry. I'm trying to work this out. We've got a lot of characters here. A lot of characters I barely know anything about. Most characters I know some basics. Some characters I've just no idea who they are from their skin. But I think I know most of them. I'm going to try our best today. I'm going to add a row below F. I'm gonna remove F. And this is going to be... I could have just changed F, couldn't I? I've got so many wires on my desk now. Okay, barely any lore. Lore. What? Lore. What? What? Okay, I'll just stick with that. And then S, we're gonna have amazing carries the server. Don't think that's how you spell carries according to this. Carries, yeah. Really good. Makes a difference. Good, but not necessary. Pretty mediocre. Mediocre. I can spell, I can pronounce that. No, I can't spell, okay. Yeah. And then D is just bad. Okay, so we're gonna be ranking them on their lore. That means like how fun they are to watch, how interesting they are, all of that stuff. And Frost is interesting for our first one here. I'm gonna put them in pretty mediocre for the time being because I want to talk about them. They're part of the Badlands. I know that they're part of the Badlands, which is cool. But like, out of the Badlands members, they don't do too much. I think they're part of the egg. I think they definitely do something in the egg. And like, Anfrost is cool, but he doesn't do much. But I think I'm gonna put him in pretty mediocre just because I barely know anything about him. I'm not very familiar with a lot, like the egg story. I haven't heard or watched those streams in ages, so I want to go back and watch those egg streams, and maybe I'll do an updated tier list maybe soon. I'm gonna put him in pretty mediocre for now. Sam is another member of the Badlands, but Sam does a lot more because obviously Sam makes the prison. He's the prison warden. Means he like guards a dream when he's in the prison. So Sam is pretty important. He is a good prison warden. He plays his character well, and I like what he does. I like he's kind of a villain, right? Because he like puts Rambo in prison and stuff, you know. So I'm gonna put him in really good, makes a difference because I think he's really good, and I think he is necessary. Like you can't not have. If you remove him from the DSMP, Ghost Spur wouldn't die, right? Wilbur wouldn't come back because Tommy would have been able to go and stop him. Without Sam, Dream would have escaped probably. Like multiple times, Rambo would have never got taken into prison. he makes a difference. He is necessary, but I don't think he carries the server. Bad. Oh, he's also really good in the egg. Bad is really significant in the egg story. He's also a member of the Badlands. He kind of feels like the leader of the Badlands quite often, I feel. And like the stuff he does in the egg, he does it really well. If you removed him, the egg story wouldn't work. But the overarching server story that follows like Tommy, he's not necessary in. I'm gonna put him good but not necessary. But if we're counting the egg, he's definitely necessary. But right now, because of my lack of knowledge about the egg, I'm not gonna count the egg. But once I get to know the egg a bit more. Callahan, he doesn't have any lore. I mean, I think he like goes on a virtual date with one of them one time. Obviously, he's like really important to like keeping the server up. He's an amazing character. No, he doesn't have any lore. Yeah. I'm sorry, Callahan. You don't have any lore. Captain Puffy is significant in the egg, right? She's a member of that group. She's important there. So I think I'm gonna put her in pretty mediocre next to Anne. I don't know, again, the egg story I barely know. And so she might not be removable from the egg story. I'll put her up to good, not necessarily because of my lack of knowledge. No, she'll stay in pretty mediocre. I barely know enough. I don't know enough, but she's going to go above Aunt Frost. She might be really significant to the egg, and I think she is definitely part of that story. Okay. Connor eats pants. So I don't know enough about this guy. I know he was like, I'm pretty sure wasn't he in prison when Techno, Phil and Nikki were rescuing Rambo. I think he was in prison as well, which is pretty funny. And I think he was like part of a syndicate for like a tiny little bit. I might be mistaken there. So I'm gonna put him in good, not necessary. Because he might have been a part of the syndicate and a bit of bias, but the syndicate's like my favorite group ever. So yeah, he's gonna go there. Good but not necessary. Dream carries like you can't not have the Dream DSMP without Dream, right? He is the main villain. He's significant. Without him, like it just couldn't have happened. Right? Couldn't have happened. There's no. I don't need to explain why it wouldn't work without Dream. It just wouldn't have worked. Dreams is actually a really good villain. I really like Dreams' character and personality. I think Dream. Like, I agree with Dream for a lot of the story. I think you can't come in and take a country and say, this is my country. I like, they started a drug ban. I partly agree with Dream, but like, not really, obviously. He goes insane. He goes mad, which isn't good. He gets into a lot of business that isn't his, especially at the beginning with the Disc Saga. When Tommy was out there fighting Alyssa and Ponk, that's not his business. That's not his business. But I don't know. Eric, really good, really really good, and that's only because of the first Lamambo story. If the first Lamambo story didn't exist, he wouldn't be important. I can imagine that Lamambo story without Eric. I think it could still have happened, but he does make a significant difference to the story. He is important in that story. He also becomes the king of L'Manberg for a bit, which is good. And I believe he helps with rescuing Michael as well. No? Yeah, no. Yes, he helps rescue Michael. He's not the one that takes Michael. Again, my knowledge in the story about Michael with Techno is I don't know much after Ram's death. He's good. I really like what he does. I can imagine a DSMP without him, and I think it would still work. And like that's not having replacements. So like, obviously, if like Sam was replaced, it would be fine. It wouldn't be as good because Sam's really, really good at what he does. But I think Eric, like, if you took him away, the DSMP would still work. But because the bits he's in, the bits he's important to, he's really good at. Foolish G. So he's I think I like what he does in it because I know I've watched the Last Nevada's video a lot by Crackety. That one, very easily accessible. I like it. He's one of the people that Crackety goes and says, "I want your help with building up Las Nevadas." He builds a lot of cool things, but this is exactly his law, right? If we were making server ranking, he'd be like up the top because of just how like amazing he is at building, how the difference he makes to server. But I think I'm gonna put him good, not necessary. I like with the egg. I know he like dies, and like Crackety could save him. And then he goes back, and Crackety's like, "Join me." I know all of that, but like he's not the best, right? He's not the best. He's good. He's not necessary. If the DSMP could still happen, right? Crackety doesn't need him. If this was like another member of Las Nevadas, some of the other members are a bit more significant and important. Obviously, they're like the dethroning of Crackety. It could work with him. I feel he's one of the less important members. Funny is probably here. Probably. I might change my mind though. He is a member of the DSMP from the beginning. I think he's canonically the son of Wilbur, or I think he's someone's son. He is obviously very important in the Lamanberg stories. I like what he does in the Red Festival, especially from Techno's POV. He like runs the games, and then he like the beginning of the biggest Lamanberg war, where like Dream, Techno, and Filza are all gonna go against Lamanberg. He like turns on them and he blows up the stuff, and I really like that moment. I think that's like a good moment. Finally, he also goes back. He's part of Las Nevadas. I think he's there in that story. He's there. You know, there's I'd say there's three people that are needed for the Last Nevada stories to happen. Maybe 4, maybe 5. But Funny and Foolish aren't any of them, right? They're not needed. I think they're good characters, but they're not needed. I think he's, but because what he does in the Manberg as well, I've got him in a really good mix of difference. But I can't actually envision DSMP without one because no one would have learned the stuff. I mean, Nikki was there as well, but like Nikki might not have been encouraged by Funny doing it. I don't know. I'm gonna leave him here. I might move him down. George is good but not necessary. I can imagine a DSMP like George quite easily. Actually, maybe not. But like, he's like Schlatt's acquaintance for a bit. He does a lot of things. He's part of the election. He's one of Dream's like founding partners. But he doesn't really do much. He has all these titles, but he doesn't really do much. Again, the only thing that's making me feel he is necessary is Rambo and Tommy burn down his house, which leads to Tommy getting exiled, right? But Tommy might have gone and burned someone else's house down. And he isn't. He's probably necessary in the first Lamambo War, but I also don't think he is. I'm going to leave him here because I don't want to put everyone that really makes a difference. Ghostblur. Yeah, probably. He probably does deserve to go in the top tier. I think Ghostblur's character is really cool. Gosh, it's going to be really difficult to talk about these two. You know what I mean. His character's great. His death is great. Like, you know, yeah, I can't imagine a server without him. Because I think if Wilbur just died and then died forever, and then didn't come back as Ghostblur, then like he wouldn't have like nearly ratted out Tommy when Tommy was at Techno's house. He wouldn't have like he wouldn't have come back, right? Which leads that really pivotal moment. I don't think it would have been as good without Ghost, but I think he's really cool character. I think this is Hannah XX Rose, but it might be Alyssa. Is there another one that looks? Yeah, there's two. I think that's. Is that Alyssa? Or is that? I think that's Hannah XX Rose. She doesn't have any law. She doesn't have any law. Like, you know. She does nothing, right? As much as I appreciate her as a content creator, she doesn't do anything. Like, she has no law. She joined at a very late time as well, to be honest. I like, yeah. H-bomb probably also goes there. Yeah, is that H-bomb or is that Boomer? I think that's H-bomb. I think that's Boomer. Might well be wrong. Laser beam, Vicstar, I don't look like they're on their list. Okay, they're not. That means Boomer's going on barely any lore as well. H1 does nothing. He does nothing. There's no other answer to that. He does nothing. Jack, manifolds. Watch him a lot as a content creator. Brilliant content creator. Shut up, I'm talking podcast is one of my favorite things ever. But he is necessary because of the ending. Right? If we're relying on the ending being that Jack blows up the whole world, no one else would have blown up the whole world. No one else would have had access to that nuke. Jack is necessary. He's very necessary. I'm tempted to move him up. But because that's kind of all he does. Like, he makes his, like, Jack Manifold land. And he also did the lore stream recently, but Jack is just, the ending is pushing him up. Schlatt is really, really good. And I can't imagine the DSMP server without him. Yeah, he's going there. The Manberg story, I think the Manberg arc is probably my favourite DSMP arc. I think a lot of people agree with me there. That's kind of when it peaked. He is really good. I like what he does in Last Invaders as well. Not entirely necessary, but it's pretty important. So he's really good, right? He's great in the Manberg server. Schlatt is very talented as well as a creator. I think he's just gonna go there. He's brilliant. Alyssa's like, I'm tempted to put Alyssa and Belly in her as well because the lore she does. Oh, Laser Beam is here. I'm right. The lore she doesn't do any lore. Yeah, she's going in there as well. She's barely in the lore. Laser Beam. I think I'm gonna put Laser Beam just bad because I think he does do some lore. But he does such little that I think he goes in just bad. But it's only because he does barely any. He builds that, like, Boomer Town with Vicstar. Who is this? I actually don't know. Am I stupid for not knowing? If someone knows, please tell me in the comments. Laser's just bad. I'm sorry. He does the thing with Boomer, but it's just not significant enough. But it counts as lore, so I gotta vote him. I don't know who this is. Is it Aaron? Tom's friend in real life, or it's not Vic. That isn't Vic's. I'm gonna put in Belly and because I don't know who they are. Nikki is good. I can imagine something like Nikki. I think it would work. She's good. She's not big enough. She's part of the Manberg. She's important in the Manberg story, but she's not significant enough. She's good. She stands up to Schlatt, which is really good, but she's not, like, this isn't needed to happen. She's in the Syndicate, which I think gets quite a lot of points for me. I really like the Syndicate, but again, the Syndicate can happen without. It could have happened without her. Right. Phil couldn't probably the server couldn't work without him because of like, you know, the battle after the community house gets blown up. He's quite strongly part of that. And like the moment where Wilbur blows up L'Manberg. Yeah. No, he's important. He's definitely. This is a really long video. I think Phil's is really good because of that moment. Other than that moment, he's in the Syndicate as well, which is really cool. He's a cool man of the Syndicate. I'm going to say it now. The Syndicate wouldn't work without him. No, I'm drawing him up because the Syndicate wouldn't work without him. The battle after the community house gets blown up wouldn't work without him. A lot of things wouldn't work without him. The whole con wouldn't work without him. So, whole con, sorry, wouldn't work without him. Punk, if it doesn't do any stress, it's just, again, just because of the lack of it. I'm gonna move George down to pretty mediocre, actually. Punk is part of the first disc saga, and so is Alyssa, so she's gonna have to go up there as well. Again, I'm assuming this is Alyssa, it might well not be Alyssa. They're all gonna go there. Because the disc sagas, which are all they do. That's all they do. Puns. This is puns. Yes, puns is really significant, and I can't imagine so without puns. But that is only because of the finale. The last couple of streams where Dream tries to like find out more about Limbo from Tommy and Tubbo's deaths. He is like, without him, I don't think it would work if it was just Dream on his own. So I think he's really significant in that. Again, that's like it. That's all he does, right? He's always part of Dream's the group, and he does lead the portal when they're having that fun duel between Tommy, Tubbo, and Dream. He does lead the group into that portal, which is really cool. But that's about it. Purple, I have some significant opinions about Purple because of my love for the Last Nevada story. He's also going here. I'm tempted to move him up to character server, but he's not that important. Purple is great, because of the Last Nevada story, right? He is the one that stands up to Quaxie. He's the one that they have that drill. He's the one that kills Slime. That story wouldn't work without Purple. And like, that's the only thing he does. That story is, whoopsie, I just hit my mic. That story is so good that he has to go here. Quackity, character server. Probably my favorite DSMP character. There's others I like as well, so it might not be. But Quackity is so good. So good. Like, Last Mud story is so amazing. Overall, his story overarches so much. I'm not going to be able to explain it all, but like, from the Man-Bug arc where he tries to get, like, he tries to get in, they say no, they reject him, he tries to become president, he fails, you know, Schlatt turns him down, he joins L'Manberg, he's, you know, and he goes beyond Las Nevadas to get revenge on L'Manberg. Like, a lot, you just go watch the L'Manberg videos, guys, I'm not going to say it here. Rambo also is brilliant, probably quite biased, but I think Rambo's, plays his Endwalk Rambo, oh my god, amazing. He's part of the Syndicate, which is also really significant, my favourite group. Syndicate wouldn't work without him. His death is probably one of the saddest deaths as well. Yeah. Rambo, very significant. Sapnap. Kanoko Kingdom probably has some lore that I don't know about, so I'm going to put him good but unnecessary. Because the Kanoko Kingdom probably has lore that I don't know. I don't know much about the kingdom. Other than that, he does a little bit. He's like part of Dreams group. He probably does some other stuff now. He's part of that Dreams group, right? And he's very important in the disc saga. So I'd put him in here anyway, even if I don't know the Kanoko Kingdom lore. And if the Kanoko Kingdom lore is really good, then I might put him in like really good, makes a difference. Skeppy is very important. Where I put bad in good but not necessary. I'll put them next to bad then, because they're both, I think, as important as each other in the egg story. Which again, I've said I don't think the egg story enough. Other than that, though, Skeppy doesn't do much. Like other than the egg story, Skeppy barely does anything. Slimecicle is also no, he's necessary. The last Nevada story, we'll know where that slime. I'm trying to wrap this up now quite quickly, which is around 25 minutes. Techno, amazing. Carries the server, so brilliant, such an amazing character, so many quotes. The Syndicate, I could talk about him so long. Oh, we got so many good ones to end on. Like Techno is incredible. Tommy is also obviously carries the server, main character of the DSMP. Brilliant character. Like really deserves to be the main character. Tubbo also carries the server. Another amazing one. Both characters, especially Tommy, has such development, and their friendship has such development. It's really such a core part of the DSMP. You're Boomer, aren't you? So I'm gonna have to put you in your Smash because you're with Laser Move. Wilberset, not a good man anymore. Very controversial man. But his lore, without him, the Dream Recipe would have existed. He was one of the main writers for it. But as a character, Wilbur is really good. I really like his character. And this is really controversial, but I really like Wilbur's character. I think he's great as a character. And yeah. If you guys want to know more about the DSMP lore and barely know anything, I recommend Evan MC Gaming's videos about the DSMP lore. That's how I originally learned, and then I went to watch some of the streams. Thank you for watching. I'm pretty sure this video has been so long and I had to rush to the end. But I'll see you on